official. It's official.
I mean, like, I always like talking to people who not originally from the South, because it's like I'm real curious about what their intro is. And I mean, like, you being from New York, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, was there hesitancy at first? Because oftentimes when I think about Outkast in New York, I automatically go to the Source Awards and how and that infamous, the boo and stuff like that. So it's like talking to people who are from there during that time who were like really picking up on hip hop and stuff like that. Like, was Outkast really that different from what you were listening to up in New York? Or I mean, like, what made them stand out?
I think initially what it was, first of all, their genre choice in music. Like, we were used to hip hop. We was used to hip hop tapping into jazz. We were used to hip hop tapping into R&B. But what Outkast was doing, tapping into funk, tapping into soul, tapping into different genres of music that, our northern sensibilities were not used to, that was different. You know what I mean? And just even the swang, you know what I mean? It was such a big thing to have an accent. Oh, you sound like you from the country. And that was a bad thing, right? Or you sound like whatever. So for us to kind of get adjusted to that was just like, oh, well, what are they talking about? And I just remember, like, you need to get up, get out, and do something. Can't spend all your time getting high. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, this is fresh. Like, and they trying to put me up on game. I'm feeling that. So, yeah, it was a little different. And it's funny, too, because my name, Mahogany Jonz, actually was a response to the pimpdom, to the players' ball that we were hearing in their music. Like, me and my friends, we were like, well, wait a minute, guys ain't the only ones who could be pimps. We could be pimps too, So we had our own little fake pimp names, and it was crazy. And just that whole idea, even back then, like, okay, I'm feeling what they're saying. I may not necessarily be down with the gender politics of what they spitting, but I still feel them.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't know that's where you got your name from. That's hot. I'm learning a little something too from this conversation. That's dope. But when you were talking about sensibilities, that really caught my attention, because I do think that that the actual act of listening is a type of sensibility associated with where you're from. And to try to find, an ear to listen to these like local stories and these local dialects, you know what I'm saying, adds a certain kind of not only uniqueness, but also as a certain kind of swag to, what makes hip hop so unique is that you can have all of these different ideas kind of come together through sound.